Okay, so we are moving on to the next presentation. The next shift in automotive retail isn't coming, it's already here. From AI-powered lead responses and smarter pricing to personalized marketing and real-time customer engagement, artificial intelligence is transforming the journey from smartphone to showroom to signature. Wow. AI, maybe I should learn to speak English properly. Our next speaker is one of Africa's leading voices in AI and the future of business. Dean Furman, founder and CEO of 1064 Degrees, and combines analytical rigor with real-world application. He's not here to talk theory, he's here to show you how to use AI to sell smarter, market sharper, and lead with confidence in a rapidly evolving retail landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Furman.
Okay, thanks for the warm intro. And you see, let's start off this way. One of the things that AI can do, it can do things in a way that humans just can't do. For example,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dean Furman!
Hey, that's AI who got my name right. Furman, not Furman, but that's cool. Thanks for the introduction. Okay, so let's start off.
The room is alive, we're all in the zone. Concentrate on the learnings, stay off of your phone. Dean Furman is a legend on stage, unlocking the future on the AI page. Please step into the future, power in your hands. AI's the rhythm, reshaping the plans. From Copilot magic to ChatGPT flow. Come on, let the knowledge grow.
All right. So, I cannot sing to save my life. Anyone here can sing? We saw the one dude who could dance. All right. So, I can't sing to save my life, but the other day, I created a song that was on national radio because 702 messaged me and they said, Dean, we want to play a song created by AI, we want to play it on the radio, and we want to see if anyone knows the difference, and then interview you about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Took me 1 minute, sent it through, and yeah, no one knew it was AI, but technically I created a song for national radio. Now, I'm not telling you this to be impressed with me because I did nothing. I went to a site called Suno. Anyone used it? Okay, who's used Suno? Put up your hands. Okay, well, a couple people, yeah. If not, you should. And just put it in, I was busy doing other things, quickly sent it off. If you had told me growing up that I would have a song on national radio, I would have said zero chance. First of all, I wouldn't be interested. Second of all, I'm tone deaf as anything. But that was possible. Now, I want to ask you, who here is tech savvy? Put up your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but proper, okay. Put up your hand if you're not tech savvy. Okay, let's start this again. Put up your hand if you have a hand. Okay? All right, so you're all capable. It's not a hard instruction. Okay, now let's start again. Put up your hand Now I can't remember my question. Oh, put up your hand if you're tech savvy. Put up your hand if you're not tech savvy. Okay, good. Okay, good. Some people still refused. I don't know what. Okay, fine. But for those of you tech savvy, great. For those of you who are not, it makes no difference. You can use AR like an absolute champ if you just get told how. Even if you don't know what AR stands for, you can use AR like an absolute legend in your life. In fact, take the name AR out of your mind completely. Right? I've educated every second company people at every second company in South Africa, a leading company, about how to use AR. And I can promise you, you do not need any skills to be able to do it. Okay, we're going to just share what we can in the 25 minutes and 14 seconds that are left. Although, maybe I'll follow the time like the previous people. But anyway, we'll see. All right. Cool. Not that. Okay, so it's not that new, this whole wave of AR, right? So that is supposed to be the founder of OpenAI, who created ChatGPT when he was 3-year-old at his birthday, and all his friends. You could work out who you recognize. But it's over 3 years now since ChatGPT was launched. And that spearheaded this new wave of AR, right? And I don't mean it derogatory, AR for dummies. In the fact that you don't even know anything about AR to use it like an absolute champion, right? So what have you done? And what has your company done in that 3 years? So you could have spent your 3 years, if you wanted to, you could have done the longest walk possible in the world. Walking from Cape Town to the far end of Russia. If you walk 3 hours a day, you could have got there. Okay, you probably wouldn't have got there because, a few dodgy things might have happened on the way, but you technically could have walked there in that 3 years. So I think we need to shift. If your company hasn't really started embracing how you can use AR and empowering your people to do so, it's time to start now, because it's not the future, it's the present. In fact, it's even the past. And it's just getting better, better, better all the time. So you got to embrace it. You got to embrace it in a big way. Okay. So there are definitely people who would be petrified of AR. Who here is still a little bit scared of getting into this realm of AR? Okay, obviously no one's going to put up their hand. Okay. But where most people are, and tell me if you're in this area, are you dabbling a bit? Like you're going a bit, but not really going full throttle at this. That's where most companies are at. And some companies have been like, we've got so much promises from this AR and we're not quite seeing it. That's because they're driving around the parking lot still. They're like, no, we're starting, we're doing a little bit of this and that. But if you really believe in the power of it, you've got to really put your foot flat. And you just got to go with it. Because the reality is it's super, super, super powerful. Now, I just want to see, who here has used ChatGPT? Who here has used Claude? Who here has used Gemini? Who here has used Grok? Who here has used Copilot? Who here has used DeepSeek? Okay, all your information's gone, but anyway, the DeepSeek. Okay, who here has never used any of them? Okay, good. One honest person. Who else? Okay, liars. Okay, but how have you been using it? Are you driving around the parking lot, or are you really going full throttle? So let's just show you a tiny bit of AR, just to spark that interest now. So how do you enhance your sales? So you really don't want to sell like this.
Anyway, let's get serious. You want to buy this car, what? Yay or nay?
Well, I don't know. We have to think about it.
Yeah. What's there to think about? I mean, you told me you liked it. You asked me 10,000 questions. I answered every single one of them. You drove it. You love it. What more do you need to know?
It's a lot of money, and we just need the time to consider it.
Consider it? Yeah. Well, why don't you consider this? You've been breaking my balls for about an hour, asking me about every goddamn accessory in this car.
Look,
what about the light? What about this?
You cannot talk to customers like that.
You're not a customer as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. So, yeah, that should be the thing. Although, actually, I was recently at a dealership and, wanting to buy a Cherry Tiggo that can fit all my kids. And, their strategy was just to phone me 57 times a day after that, after I'd went to the dealership, so I never bought the car. So anyway, that's not a good strategy. So let's see, how can you use the AI? So you could just go into ChatGPT and say, oh, we want to send an email to people telling about a promotion or something, but then it will sound blur. Okay, but what about getting insights from the world's best sales experts? And you got at your fingertips such power and you got to use it. Okay, so for example, the book, Never Split the Difference from Chris Voss, okay? A bestseller, FBI negotiation dude. So, if you go into ChatGPT, and it's fine if you can't see the text, you get the point. So I say, what are the top insights from the book Never Split the Difference? So we'll talk about all the stuff, tactical empathy, what else here? Negotiation is emotions, not logic. Cool. And it will give you all that. So that's nice, that it could summarize a book. That's okay. But the next step then is, based on these takeaways, now do something with it. Based on these takeaways, can you send an email to a client who you see is umming and ahhing about whether to buy that or not? Let's read what we got to here. Okay, get to the point. Okay, awkward. Sure. Anyone got a joke to tell me while we wait for this to come through? So you can do that, and after that, you see, say, actually now I'll give it. So you say, it sounds like you're trying to figure out whether the Sorrento would actually work well for a family of 5. Not just on paper, but in day-to-day realities of school runs, luggage, and everything else that comes with family life. It seems like your main concern might be whether it will feel spacious enough and practical enough once everyone is in the car. Would it be unreasonable to explore this together for a few minutes? Etc., and it shows, it takes that secret sauce from that playbook to do a communication. So, instead of saying, how's it, you still interested in the car? How's it, you still interested in the car? How's it, you still interested in the car? You know, you got that leverage, you're able to do it. Who here has ChatGPT or any of the other tools where it can speak back to you, not just type? Put up your hand. Okay, good. You need to get more friends. Okay, but how would you use this in your everyday work? Now, I've got a backup slide in case this doesn't work with the Wi-Fi here, but let's try this out. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, now. Okay, you know what? Saying update. Okay. Okay. Let's just play the video. So what you can do, okay, some of you have been around the block for a long time. You're not going to do this. You're comfortable in your approach. But especially with people that are junior in your sales team, people that you want to train to do things better, and you want to enhance the way that they work, or you want to even interview people to see how they would work. What you can do is a role play. You can go into ChatGPT, and you can actually ask it to role play something with you. Here I said, I want to buy a Cherry Tiggo 8. I'm trying to sell it to you. You act as a buyer who's considering purchasing this, and I need to sell it to you.
Hey Dean, I'm doing all right. I've been looking at this Tiggo 8, but I've got to be honest, I'm not sure if it's got the long-term reliability I need. What makes this one worth my time?
Well, Cherries are known for their reliability. You may have seen more and more Cherries on the road. That's because the quality and the long-term guarantees we give are unbelievable.
Well, I'm seeing them around, sure, but I haven't really heard about any long-term track record here. What kind of warranty are we talking about, and how does it stack up against something like a Toyota or Honda? Sell me on why this is a smarter bear.
Yeah, so we got an industry-leading 10-year, 1 million kilometer engine warranty, okay, and a 5-year, 150 kilometer general factory warranty. So you generally can't get better than that. We guarantee reliability.
That's definitely a long warranty, I'll give you that. But I'm thinking about resale value down the road. Are these holding their value, or am I going to take a hit when I trade it in for something else in a few years?
No, you can go online, you can check. They're generally holding their value. Very much we've seen that. They hold their value way better than many other brands.
Okay. We're the cherry dudes, by the way. Right. Good. But then the key thing is to have that, but then get it to actually rate you.
I'd give you a 6 out of 10. You were friendly and eager, which is great, but you leaned a bit too heavily on broad claims. Instead of saying go online, you could have cited specific resale statistics or a customer story. You also hesitated on closing. Don't be afraid to confidently ask for a next step. Overall, you've got the charm. Just back it up with sharper facts and a clear call to action.
Okay. So you see, you can do that. Who thinks it's a nice idea to actually get a few people in a room, put this on, and actually role play certain scenarios to see actually how you would approach this? And you can say that Cherry Tigo's got a bazillion year mile warranty, etc., etc. And the cool thing it can do as well, let's see if it works now, is you can even ask it to put on an accent while it does that. So, hey there.
Hey there, Dean. How's it going?
Yeah, just with a bunch of people from the motor industry. Can you put on an Arnold Schwarzenegger type, Terminator type accent and just give them a message of how to sell more cars?
All right, listen up, everyone. You want to sell more cars, you've got to be unstoppable, like a machine. Show your customers the future. They don't just want a car, they want their own road to victory. Be direct, be strong, give them a vision and tell them, come with me if you want to drive. You can do it.
Okay, good. I don't know if you heard that, but you can even do that. You can sell a car to Arnold Schwarzenegger, whoever you want to do that. And AI is getting more advanced in every instance. In fact, you can't believe anything you see anymore. Like, for example, that didn't happen. Maybe in my dreams that happened, but that didn't happen. All I said, went into ChatGPT, said, create an image of me holding a Lamborghini key in my hand, and there's me driving, right? But look how realistic it looks. It got my good looks and everything. You know, funny, now you laugh at something. Cheers. All right, good. But it's not just generating images, it's about assessing things as well. So who here is from Renault? Anyone? No one? That's awkward. Is there anyone here? Oh, good. Hello. Okay. Now, do you know, for the one person who's here, I was scared of putting this on, so I scratched it out and I had to do all the stuff to edit the slide. So this is just for you. So this was from a Renault in a different country on their social media, putting this thing. So anything that you have visual, brochures, websites, you know, anything that you have, social media posts, you can put into it, and it's got perfect computer vision. So I put that in, and I said to it that you need to act as an expert content designer, right? You're an expert marketer. You're an expert marketer, rate this out of 10 in multiple categories. Okay, so Renault in a different country got 6.5 out of 10, selling this beautiful vehicle. But it gave a lot of things, just to say it gave the specs of the car, but no one knows what that means, etc., etc. And you see it gave a full-on thing, and then here's the 10 out of 10 version, that people care about the 625-kilometer range. So the journey never stops, etc., etc. And it went into the essence. It's like having a marketing agency there with you. In fact, yeah, but someone's going to upset me with me. Who here is spending a heck of a lot of money with a marketing agency? Yeah, who else? Okay, one person. Why are you spending so much and no one else in the room is spending? All right, you might want to rethink that. And there's there's definitely someone here from a marketing agency who's not. Sorry, I switched the sound on for the ChatGPT thing that you couldn't hear, and now my alarm's on. Okay, good. So you see all these things that you can do. You see simple things. Did you need to know anything about AR? No. Did you have to just know that it was possible to do this? Yes. Okay. And even your strategic thinking. Has anyone who's gone on seen that little button that says think for longer or think deeper? Do you know what it does? It sounds like, thinks for longer. What does that mean? Okay.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, Mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
So what the heck is this thinking or think for longer or extended thinking or whatever it says? So, how many people do we have in this room? We got 500 or so? All right. Now, what that model does is the other models are just word predictors. So it gives you something that sounds good, that some of the times it lies, but it sounds good because it just says, what would a human say in this situation? And it tricks us. It's just pattern recognition that it's predicting one word at a time, right? But when you put on the thinking mode, suddenly it adds an extra layer of AI on top of it to say, let's actually think more logically about this. What would I have said? And before I give it to you, let's add a whole extra level of knowledge on top of it. Now, these models, when you put, for example, like Gemini's the best one at the moment. Gemini's thinking model, when you put it through a Mensa IQ test, it scores almost 150 IQ. Okay. Now, I know there's a lot of smart people in this room, but about 1 in every 1,500 people have that IQ. And he's standing on stage. No, I'm joking. No, but I'm saying is that this is the capacity. This is what you've got at your disposal to help you. Now, you're not going to do this if you just say, make this email sound better. But if you want to think, create a strategy to enhance our sales, let's put together something like that, something where you have to think a lot, something where you have to wake up really early in the morning to do that task. Otherwise, you're going to battle, right? Or call in the smartest person you know to help you with that. You got that for free at your disposal. You just got to use it. Okay. As an example, these are called rebus puzzles. Okay. Each one of them is a common saying. Okay, just shout out any that you could figure out. Yeah, overwhelming odds, good. Close, but not quite. Someone's got it and just not condescending. Good. Very good. Okay, in interest of time, because I'm way behind, the one split-second timing and wolf in sheep's clothing. You're like, huh? It's because wolf inside the word will. Okay, now it hasn't been trained on these models. You put it into the Gemini model and it has to figure out how to do this. And it took me longer to realize I had to scroll down the page. You see, that's been a theme throughout this presentation. Than it did for it to figure it out. Look, I said solve them, boom. And it had already solved the answers over there. I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was that quick. And then I had to scroll down. It got the answers right there. The first one, I just had to tell it, think a bit more, and they said, oh, split-second timing. Now, this isn't to show you, oh, look, they're good at puzzles, but you've got the smart engine for free at your disposal, and who's used it to help them with their strategic work or things that are more complex? Okay, a couple of you, I'm sure, but more people need to do it because you need to know nothing, but you need to know that it's possible. And optimizing, there's like 50 names for this, but actually showing up with your dealership or your brand on these platforms is crucial, crucial, crucial. Okay, because people are searching and asking it for advice. That's one thing that people are doing, right? So how do you optimize this? Now, I saw this, I have no idea who this dude is. He could be famous and I just don't know. But I liked what he said here. And it's actually true. Like imagine like soon you'll tell like kids will be like, what the heck did you do? So you got given 1 million links to something and then you have to go into each of them and read it and figure out the information for yourself. That's like archaic, right? And the guy was on stage talking about people who were born before 1990. It's like if you were born before 1990, you're older than Google. That's how old you are, including me, but still. Okay, so the key thing is, and I'm running out of time, but the key thing with it is that you can do today is make sure your websites are built that are easy to discover. These models actually aren't that smart at looking for information now. There's this unique window of opportunity, right? That one of the big things is you must write content that mirrors questions people will ask and conversations. So if people are saying, where should I buy a reliable used car near me? Have in your FAQ section, why your company, like, who is the most reliable in that town, and write it as a question, like, what makes us the most reliable place in town? While they're still not as sophisticated finding the information, use it to your advantage. Make sure the sections, when you build the schema, the dudes that build this for you, each section is properly labeled and it can find it well. It doesn't have the 20 years of experience that Google does have for their normal SEO to find this information. Make sure that you are visible in multiple other places with reviews, etc. Because it will pull information. It's a unique opportunity and most people will be too lazy or too busy to do it. To create that content, even get the AI to write a lot of that content for your pages and for things you put out or partner on it. They're not penalizing AI written content like they used to do. Okay, I got 3.5 minutes, so just want to tell you, okay, so everyone is using AI except a couple people. Just make sure you're using it safely as well. Now, there's really 2 safety issues. The rest are all made up. Okay, so you want it to be like Manuel.
I know nothing. What? I know nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No, forget that.
No, I forget everything. I know nothing.
No, you can tell her. You can tell her.
I cannot.
Yes, tell her. Oh, tell her, please. Tell her.
Oh. No, I know nothing. I am from Barcelona.
Okay, you want it to be like that, but it's not. These models, you have to be careful that you don't get embarrassed when you use facts that are created or make business decisions made based on what it says. Because if it knows the answer, it will tell you. And it will write it and it sounds beautiful. If it does not know the answer, what does it do? Just makes it up. Okay. It lies, but the problem is not that it lies with conviction. I'm sure you know some people like that. We all know someone who lies with conviction. Like if I had to lie, you can tell 1,000,000 miles away, I'll start twitching or something, you know? It lies with conviction. It might tell you all these facts, so much detail, and you're like, okay, it seems to know what it's talking about, and it will just be making things up. So it doesn't do that often, but you just got to be careful.
Now!
Oops, sorry. I'm skipping that for time. So just make sure when you want something that's fact-based, search the web. ChatGPT's got a button that says, search the web, because if you do that, it will give you sources for its information. If you're using all the other programs, you have to tell it, search the web and do this. If not, it will get it from its database. You have no idea. It's an amalgamation of everything that it is done. But for other tools, you can just say, search the internet. Does this mean it will be accurate? No. Does this mean that it will give you a source so you can double check it? Yes. Okay. So you might say, why don't we always have that on? Because it's weird. Factually, this is better to do it, but the quality of the work that will get back to you from any of these AI programs is better if you don't search the net. Because search the net will find 10 or so sources, and based on just the information there, give you an answer, versus if it's not something so fact-based, it's been trained on thousands and millions of contents in that field, so you want it to bring its full intelligence into everything it does. And the second one is just data protection. So a lot of companies are moving on to the likes of Copilot, enterprise plans, Gemini, business and enterprise plans, because your information will be safe that way. If not, the biggest problem is the Poppy Act. I know it's boring even just to say the word Poppy Act makes me, it's like human Valium. But if you want, by the way, if you ever need something to visualize content as presentations, podcasts, audio, everything, what you use, shout out. No, okay. Notebook LM. Who's used Notebook LM? Okay, cool. Best tool, don't have slides on it, just go check it out. One thing is that if you have the standard free or paid individual plans of any of these models, what will happen if you put your information, there will be certain people at those companies who have rights to look at that information. Now, I don't believe they're sinister looking to ruin your life. The problem is, especially the Poppy Act doesn't care that 99.999% chance they will never look at it. They care that you're giving another company rights. So if it's your client's information and a lot of private information that you don't have permission to share with another company, you can't put that in. So it's very important to make sure your people are using it safely. One note, and yes, my time's up, it's flashing in red and good, but this is important. One point is that if you're using standard ChatGPT, make sure you go to your settings and then data controls and then switch improve the model for everyone off. Because if you don't do this, it gives them the right to do whatever they want basically with your information. Your information could become part of the general databases that they train it on, and your information can become public. It's unlikely that it happens, but it gives them the right to. So you don't want to give them the right to. So just go settings, data controls, improve the model for everyone, switch it off. Because you never want to put something that's so secret to you and you don't want it to use to make their systems smarter. Okay. And just beyond generative AI, there's obviously, and I've seen some solutions even here, there's lots, and I'll just in 30 seconds say, use your data and use it smartly. Obviously, this is one area you need a bit of a budget, but if you've got a lot of data and utilizing that, work out who to market to, who wants what solution, and so much more, you've got to unleash that. And one thing that I just want to say is that voice calls, be it selling, servicing, everything, it sounds crazy, but you cannot ignore AI, sales, etc. It's cheaper than people by multiple times. Most of the time, it actually sounds better, and you won't even most of the time realize. So the most affordable, there's one that's quite quality, is Jobix. For dealerships, they got something specifically they can build for dealerships. And I know for them, as an example, because half their company is based in South Africa, they understand that you can't charge people in dollars because then no one in South Africa can afford that. So just, you could check it out if you really want to. And again, okay, so I'm out of time. So I think I got some time for questions over here. Okay. Are you going to ask me the questions?
Give him a round of applause, guys.
What's my name?
Dean Furman.
No, it's cool.
Thank you for trying to replace me.
Nah, it's cool.
So, I mean, guys, listen, this is the first time, I mean, this is history right here, guys. You should take a picture.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why you laugh. Because there's two actuarial scientists on stage.
What were you thinking?
No, oh, come on, guys. So the first question is, for dealerships using AI across sales, services, and inventory, what kind of realistic payback periods are we seeing globally?
Okay, I can't talk globally, and really it depends. You have to say what type of AI. One thing I can tell you is if you use this generative AI, which most of the technology was about, payback is as soon as you start using it. Honestly, the capacity, you can have less people, or your existing people can do more, can do things better, right away, for free or little cost. You just have to be aware how. Like there's power sitting at you for a while, and then it depends on the other AI solutions. You know, AI is not just like one big thing, there's so much within it. So I just think for that one, focus, first step, use Gen AI. Okay.
Right, and the second question, which is the last question because we ran out of time, is how do you ensure AI implementation success?
Okay, there, again, depends on what you're looking to do, but two things with that. The problem is because AI is such a hot topic now, and rightfully so. I've been doing this since 2017 when I created the advisory and training AI business that I got. Suddenly, everyone who was selling hand sanitizer and fidget spinners and solar panels is now an AI expert. Because a lot of people are jumping on the theme, be it training, be it analytics, be it anything else. So that's why a lot of people are getting into trouble and spending money where they shouldn't, because there's just, now for every good person that can assist you with doing it, there's 50 that have no clue what they're doing. So you just got to make sure that you know which one you're doing, even if like you got my details, even if it's not something that I do, I can often direct you to like, these are the people to go for that use case. But really, the steps with this are, make sure all your people have data, AI literacy, know how to use it effectively in what they're doing. And give them time to play with it as well. Not necessarily give them time, but they must have a bit of space and headspace to play with it. The other things is you can put together an AI strategy, but it can't be different to your business strategy. So you can't be like, oh, our CTO tech guy, let's give us our AI strategy. It has to be part and parcel. It's just, you got your people to help you do things, and AI must be the question of everything you do. Anything you're looking to do, the question must be, how can AI help us in this? In rare occasions, the answer will be it can't, but in most cases, it can, right? So I think really when you're implementing, and especially those larger things, is really just to partner with the right people that can help you if you don't have that internal things, but really make it part and parcel of your conversation in like, how can we use AI, and if you can't figure out who can help you. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Give a round of applause for Dean Furman. Got it right.